So first of all, I would say personal branding is a way for people outside your immediate network to get to know you and learn about your expertise and the passion you have for what you do. Because a lot of people are well respected in their, companies, in their industries, but they're kind of like in a little box, and they work, or maybe they work for themselves and they rely on referrals to market themselves, and they're just not kind of out there. So, but then when they see other people, in their industry, like being featured in an article or maybe speaking on a stage, they think, well, how did they get that? How did that happen? Why, what do they have that I don't have? And those things are not by accident usually. So there is, a way that you can make it happen. I mean, anyone can benefit, I think, from building a personal brand and eventually become a go-to person in their industry. And I'll explain a little bit more about what that means, but that's kind of what it is, right? It's just becoming known for what you do and becoming a go-to person in your industry. But the other thing I wanted to mention was it's not a new concept. And I just talked about this in an episode of my podcast, which is called The Path to Visibility. And I did an episode on personal branding. So I was talking all about this. And there was an article that I read many years ago, and I dug it up. And it was actually written in 1997. So
Wow.
25 years ago. Yeah. By Tom Peters, who is a management guru, right? He's an expert in management for Fast Company magazine. And it was called The Brand Called You. That was the article. And in that article, he said, don't be defined by your job description or title. Big companies understand that everyone has a chance to stand out. So think of yourself as a brand and ask yourself what makes you different. Like he said that 25 years ago. And he also said, it's a good idea to reinvent yourself on a semi-regular basis to avoid becoming a slave to a career path that may no longer serve you or energize you. Which, like, can you relate to that? Because I can relate to that. I
Yeah,
think,
no, I love it. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of like what personal branding is, and kind of like, I think that article was one of the things that kickstarted it. Why is it important? Because it offers a lot of benefits. I mean, I have to admit that even though I'm a PR person who helps, spokespeople, other executives, brands, small business owners build their profile, that I was not always building my own profile outside the company that I work for. Because I don't know, I think it's the shoemaker's children have no shoes. You just don't worry about yourself, you worry about other people. But there's a lot of benefits to developing a personal brand. And I kind of regret that I didn't start sooner because I'm doing it now. But the benefits are things like it's a way to communicate your expertise. It's a way to differentiate yourself from the competition. It's a way to establish trust and credibility with your audience, create new opportunities like a promotion, a new job, even potentially a new career. Or it could expand your existing job because, after you become known and sought after, you might attract new customers, you can charge higher fees. So you can, just excel at what you're doing. But the beauty of personal branding really is that it attracts opportunities, and then you can decide which ones you want to pursue. It's like a magnet.